The orbital platforms around Earth detected the anomaly first, a strange ripple in space-time near Jupiter's orbit. By 2082, humans had built small colonies on Mars and bases on the Moon, but they couldn't travel to other stars yet. Dr. Jae-won Kim was looking at data from Jupiter when his screens lit up with warnings. He pushed his glasses up and leaned closer to the display. The readings made no sense at first. "Hana, come look at this," he called to his colleague. Dr. Hana Park walked over, her coffee forgotten in her hand. "That can't be right. The sensors must be broken." "No," Jae-won said quietly. "I checked 3 times. Something big is coming through." Before they could tell anyone, the first alien ships appeared. They were massive, each one larger than the biggest human spacecraft ever built. The ships were black with glowing blue lines running across their hulls. They moved with perfect order, like a well-trained army. The small human research station near Jupiter tried to make contact. The aliens answered with weapons. Bright beams cut through the station, destroying it in seconds. "We need to warn Earth," Jae-won said, his fingers flying across the keyboard. The message went out, but it was already too late. The alien fleet, later known as the Doric, moved with shocking speed. They attacked the Mars colony next. Thousands died in the first hour. In Seoul, General Dae-ho Lee was woken up by the emergency alert. He rushed to the command center where screens showed the destruction of the lunar bases. The aliens were getting closer. "Get me everyone," he ordered. Scientists, military leaders, everyone. Within hours, leaders from around the world gathered in the underground bunker. They watched helplessly as the alien fleet approached Earth. "They'll be here in 3 days," someone said. "What do we know about them?" asked the general. A young officer spoke up. "They call themselves the Doric, sir. They sent a message after destroying the Mars colony. They say Earth is now part of their empire." The room fell silent. Then Dr. Kim stepped forward. He had been analyzing the data from the destroyed stations. "There's something interesting about their technology," he said. "The way their ships communicate. It's similar to our quantum systems, but they're not protected against interference." "Meaning what?" the general asked. 20 years ago, we discovered that quantum communications could be disrupted by specific patterns. We developed protections. They didn't. For the first time, a small hope appeared. If the alien systems had this weakness, perhaps humans had a chance. "I need a team," Dr. Kim said, "and access to every piece of alien technology we can get." General Lee nodded. "You'll have whatever you need." The first alien ships reached Earth the next day. They positioned themselves over major cities and sent a message to all communication channels. "People of Earth, you are now under Doric control. Surrender your leaders and resources. Resistance will bring destruction." To show they were serious, the aliens destroyed a small island in the Pacific. The explosion was visible from space. World leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to surrender to save lives. Others insisted on fighting back. While they argued, Dr. Kim and his team worked day and night. They studied the alien signals and confirmed his theory. The Doric ships were vulnerable to quantum interference. "We can disrupt their communications," he told General Lee. "Maybe even disable their weapons." On the 3rd day, the aliens demanded an answer. When none came, they prepared to destroy Beijing as a lesson. But Dr. Kim was ready. His team had converted several satellite stations to generate the interference pattern. As the alien ship powered up its weapons, they activated the system. The effect was immediate. The massive ship's lights flickered. Its weapon beams started but then cut off. For several minutes, the ship drifted, seemingly dead in space. Then suddenly, it came back online. The moment had passed, but it proved something important. The aliens could be hurt. "It's not enough yet," Dr. Kim told the emergency council. "But now we know it works. Give me more time and resources, and we can develop this into a real weapon." For the first time since the invasion began, there was hope. Humans might be outgunned, but they weren't helpless. "We need to recover more of their technology," Dr. Kim said. "That means capturing one of their ships." General Lee looked at him in shock. "Capture an alien ship? How?" Dr. Kim smiled grimly. "I have an idea, but it's going to be dangerous." Around the world, people looked up at the alien ships hovering over their cities. The Dorak thought victory would be easy. They were about to learn that humans never surrender without a fight. 3 months after the first alien ships appeared over Earth, half of the world's major cities lay in ruins. The Dorak had attacked with brutal force, destroying any city that showed resistance. Millions were dead, and millions more had fled to the countryside. Deep beneath the broken streets of Busan, Dr. Kim worked in an underground lab. The room was filled with pieces of alien technology. Some were from damaged ships, others from weapons the aliens had lost in battle. Colonel Ji-woo Choi entered the lab, his uniform dusty from the journey through the rubble above. "Any progress?" he asked. Dr. Kim looked up from the alien device he was studying. "Yes, finally. We've translated more of their language from this data core." He pointed to a screen showing strange symbols. "The Dorak aren't just random invaders. They're collectors." "Collectors? Of what?" "Of species. Of knowledge." Dr. Kim pulled up more alien text. "They travel the galaxy looking for worlds with unique technologies or biological traits. Then they conquer those worlds and take what they want." Colonel Choi frowned. "So Earth has something they want?" "Yes, but I don't think they expected us to fight back so effectively." Dr. Kim showed him a map of Dorak attacks over the past months. "Their ships have been avoiding areas where we've set up our quantum interference devices." The colonel nodded. "Those devices have saved thousands of lives, but they're not enough to win this war." "I know. That's why we need to understand our enemy better." Dr. Kim opened another file. "Look at this. I found it hidden in their communication logs." The screen showed images of other alien species. Some looked almost human, with 2 arms and legs. Others were completely different. Floating creatures, beings made of crystal, things that seemed more like plants than animals. "These are other species the Dorak have conquered," Dr. Kim explained. "But look at the notes beside them." Colonel Choi read the translated text. "Resistance level. Minimal. Subjugation period. Complete." What does that mean? It means the Dorak rank the species they conquer by how hard they fight back. Dr. Kim pointed to one entry. "This species surrendered immediately. The Dorak took what they wanted and left most of them alive but enslaved." He scrolled to another entry. "This one fought hard. The Dorak destroyed them completely." Colonel Choi's face darkened. "And where do we stand?" "That's the interesting part." Dr. Kim pulled up another file. "According to their latest reports, we're classified as unexpectedly resistant. They didn't expect us to figure out their technology so quickly or to develop countermeasures." As they talked, another scientist rushed into the room. "Dr. Kim, we're picking up a strange signal. It's not from the Dorak ships." They followed her to the communication center. On the main screen, a repeating pattern pulsed. "It's using the same frequency gaps the Dorak communication system leaves open," the technician explained. "But it's definitely not from them." Dr. Kim studied the pattern. "It's some kind of code." After a few minutes, he grabbed a pen and started writing. I think it's a message from another species." Working through the night, Dr. Kim decoded the message. When he finished, his hands were shaking. "We're not alone in this fight," he told Colonel Choi as the sun rose over the ruined city. "There are others out there, other species the Dorak have attacked. They've been fighting back in secret, sharing information through channels the Dorak don't monitor." Colonel Choi looked skeptical. "How do we know it's not a trick?" "Because they've sent us technical information about Dorak ships that matches what we've discovered, and more that we hadn't found yet." Dr. Kim showed him the decoded plans, including the location of the control systems on their main battleships. For the first time in months, the colonel smiled. "This changes everything." Dr. Kim nodded. "We need to respond to this message. And we need to plan an attack, not just to defend Earth, but to strike back." In the following days, they established communication with the mysterious allies. They learned that 3 other species had formed a hidden resistance against the Doric. One evening, as they prepared for the first major counterattack, Colonel Choi found Dr. Kim looking at the night sky through a break in the ceiling. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "6 months ago, we thought we were alone in the universe," Dr. Kim replied. "Now we're fighting aliens and making allies with other species. The universe is much bigger than we imagined." Colonel Choi nodded. "And much more dangerous." "Yes," Dr. Kim agreed. "But we're not facing that danger alone anymore." The next morning, Operation Lightning Strike began, the first human offensive against the Doric fleet. As the retrofitted Earth ships prepared to launch, Dr. Kim joined the mission crew. The fate of Earth would depend on what they discovered about their enemy, and what the enemy had yet to learn about human determination. Operation Lightning Strike launched 6 months after the invasion began. The sun was rising over the Pacific Ocean as Captain Sun Mei-Kang walked through the hangar of the secret underwater base. 5 spacecraft stood ready, once ordinary transport ships, now fitted with powerful new weapons. "Are the quantum disruptors online?" Sun Mei asked the chief engineer. "Yes, Captain. All 5 ships are ready, but we've never tested them against the big Doric vessels." Sun Mei nodded. "Today will be the test." The plan was simple but dangerous. The 5 human ships would slip past the Doric blockade using a new stealth system. Then they would target the alien command ship and disable it with the quantum disruptors, weapons designed by Dr. Kim based on the aliens' communication weakness. Dr. Kim himself stood by the lead ship, now named HSS Defiance. He would join the mission despite the risks. "This isn't just about stopping their attacks," he told Sun Mei as they boarded. "We need information from their command ship, plans, maps, fleet positions, anything that can help us fight back." The ships launched at dawn, rising from the ocean into the sky. They flew low over the water to avoid detection. "Doric patrols ahead," the sensor operator reported. 3 scout ships. Sun Mei gripped her chair. If the scouts spotted them, the element of surprise would be lost. "Activate stealth systems," she ordered. The ships' hulls changed color, matching the sky around them. Their engines quieted to a whisper. The scout ships passed overhead without noticing. 2 hours later, they reached the main Doric fleet in orbit. Dozens of alien ships circled Earth. The largest, the command vessel, was nearly a kilometer long. "There's our target," Sun Mei said. "All ships, maintain formation. Prepare quantum disruptors." The 5 human ships moved closer, still undetected. When they were just 3 kilometers from the command ship, Sun Mei gave the order. "Fire." Beams of energy shot from the human vessels. They didn't look like much, just rippling waves of light. But when they hit the Doric ship, the effect was dramatic. The alien vessel's lights flickered. Its engines died. The massive ship began to drift. "It worked," someone shouted. But celebration came too soon. The other Doric ships quickly noticed the attack. They turned toward the human vessels, weapons charging. "Phase 2, Sun Mei ordered. All ships target the patrol vessels." More quantum beams fired. 2 more alien ships went dark. But there were too many. A Doric energy beam hit one of the human ships, cutting it in half. "We're losing the advantage," Sun Mei said. "We need to board the command ship now." The Defiance moved alongside the disabled alien vessel. Dr. Kim led the boarding team. 20 soldiers in spacesuits. They cut through the alien hull and entered. Inside, the ship was strangely quiet. The Doric crew moved slowly, confused by the failure of their systems. Some fought back, but most were too disoriented to resist effectively. "This way," Dr. Kim said, following the ship plans they'd received from their mysterious allies. The navigation center should be ahead. They fought through several groups of Doric soldiers. The aliens were tall and thin with 4 arms and gray skin. Their weapons fired energy bolts that melted through walls. After 20 minutes of fighting, Dr. Kim's team reached the navigation center. The large room was filled with floating screens showing star maps. "Download everything," Dr. Kim ordered. "We need complete data on their fleet positions." While his team worked, Captain Sunmei fought a desperate battle outside. The Defiance dodged energy beams from the recovering Doric ships. "We can't hold much longer," she radioed to Dr. Kim. "Hurry." Dr. Kim stared at the star maps in wonder. They showed not just Earth's solar system, but hundreds of others. The Doric Empire was vast, spanning multiple star clusters. "Done," one of his team members called. "We have the data." As they retreated to their ship, Dr. Kim noticed something else: a living Doric officer trying to access a control panel. On impulse, he stunned the alien and ordered 2 soldiers to bring it along. "A prisoner?" one asked. "A source of information," Dr. Kim replied. They barely made it back to the Defiance. As soon as they were aboard, Sunmei ordered full speed away from the Doric fleet. Only 3 of the 5 human ships escaped. But the mission was a success. They had the navigation data and a Doric prisoner. Back at the underwater base, Dr. Kim studied the captured information with growing excitement. "Their empire is huge," he told the gathered military leaders, "but it's spread thin. And look here." He pointed to several star systems marked with warning symbols. "These are areas where they're facing resistance. We're not the only ones fighting back." General Lee nodded. "Can we contact these other resistances?" "I think so," Dr. Kim said, "and if we can unite with them." For the first time, he allowed himself to imagine not just survival, but victory. The news of Earth's successful mission spread quickly among those fighting the Doric. 3 months after capturing the command ship, Dr. Kim was working late in his lab when the alarm sounded. "Unknown spacecraft approaching Earth," the announcement blared. "All defense stations on alert." Dr. Kim rushed to the command center. On the main screen, a strange ship appeared. It was unlike any Doric vessel they had seen before. It was smaller and seemed to shimmer slightly, as if not fully visible. "Is it attacking?" General Lee asked. "No, sir," the radar operator replied. "It's just waiting. And it's broadcasting a message on the same hidden frequency we use to communicate with the resistance." Dr. Kim leaned forward. "Let me hear it." The message was simple: "Friends of Earth, we come in peace. We fight the same enemy." After careful scanning confirmed the ship carried no weapons, General Lee allowed it to land at a remote base. Dr. Kim was there to meet the visitors. The ship's door opened, and a being stepped out. It was tall and slender with pale blue skin that seemed to glow slightly. It had 2 arms and 2 legs like humans, but its fingers were longer, and its eyes were large and completely black. "I am Leary," the visitor said in perfect Korean, using a small device to translate. "I represent the Moran people." Dr. Kim stepped forward. "I am Dr. Kim Jae-won of Earth. Welcome." Leary bowed slightly. "Your victory against the Doric command ship has traveled through the resistance networks. In 50 years of fighting, no one has accomplished what Earth did in just 6 months." Over the next few days, Dr. Kim learned much about their new allies. The Moran came from a planet 20 light-years from Earth. The Doric had attacked them 60 years ago, taking many of their people as slaves and stealing their advanced stealth technology. "But some of us escaped," Leary explained. "We've been fighting back ever since, building a network of resistance across the stars." A week after the Moran arrived, 2 more ships appeared. One carried the Elteri, beings that looked almost like walking trees with rough brown skin and flexible limbs. The other brought the Voss, small creatures with 4 arms and large heads who could communicate with thoughts. Earth's leaders gathered to meet with all three alien species. Dr. Kim served as the main human representative, trying to bridge the gaps between very different beings. The Dorak have ruled through division, he explained at the first meeting. They conquer one species at a time, never allowing us to unite. Sorin, the leader of the Altari, nodded his branch-like head. For too long, we have fought separate battles. But now, together, we might win the war. The alliance wasn't easy to form. Each species had different needs and abilities. The Moran needed more moisture than Earth provided. The Altari required special nutrients. The Voss found human thoughts too chaotic and loud. But they worked through these problems. Dr. Kim spent countless hours learning about each species, helping them understand each other. The Dorak think themselves superior because they take from others. He told Captain Sun Mai one evening. But our real strength comes from working together, each contributing what makes us unique. Together, they developed a plan that used all their strengths. Earth would provide the quantum disruption technology. The Moran would add their stealth systems. The Altari offered biological adaptations that could heal damaged ships. The Voss contributed their psychic abilities to coordinate attacks across vast distances. We will target the main Doric fleets, General Lee explained at the final planning meeting, not just to defend our worlds, but to free those already conquered. As they prepared for war, the Doric made their move. Massive reinforcements arrived from deeper in their territory. The orbital attacks on Earth intensified. In a desperate night battle over Asia, Captain Sun Mi's ship was hit. As it fell from the sky in flames, a Miran vessel swept in to rescue her and her crew. The next day, Altari healers treated the injured humans with their special medicines. Voss communicators linked the scattered resistance forces when normal signals were blocked. Dr. Kim watched it all with pride. 6 different species working as one, each bringing their own gifts to the fight. The Dorak thought they understood us, he told Leary as they watched humans and aliens working side by side. They conquered dozens of worlds by exploiting weaknesses and divisions, but they've never faced a united front before. Leary's black eyes seemed to smile, and that will be their downfall. The final preparations began. A fleet of ships, human, Moran, Altari, and Voss, gathered in secret. Their target wasn't just Earth's solar system, but the heart of Doric power itself. 1 year after forming the alliance, the United Fleet gathered near Neptune, hidden from Doric sensors. Over 200 ships, human, Moran, Altari, and Voss, prepared for the greatest battle in Earth's history. Admiral Sun Mi Kang, once captain of the Defiance, now commanded from the bridge of the HSS Vengeance, Earth's first true battleship. Built with technology from all 4 allied species, it was unlike anything humans had created before. All ships report ready, her first officer said. Sun Mi nodded. Send the signal. Operation Freedom begins now. The fleet moved as one, jumping through space using Miran technology. They appeared near a Doric-controlled planet called Tasmir, where the aliens had enslaved the local population. Quantum disruptors at full power, Sun Mi ordered. Target their orbital defenses first. The human weapons worked perfectly. 20 Doric ships went dark within minutes. The others tried to fight back, but the combined fleet was too strong. The Miran vessels slipped past defenses unseen. Altari ships absorbed damage that would have destroyed human craft. Voss communicators coordinated the attack with perfect precision. In just 1 day, they liberated Tasmir. The pattern repeated across the galaxy. Week after week, the Alliance freed more worlds from Doric control. Dr. Kim traveled with the fleet, studying each new species they encountered. Some joined the Alliance, adding their own unique abilities to the fight. The Doric made a fundamental mistake, he explained to a group of officers. They saw differences as weaknesses to exploit. They never understood that diversity is strength. The Doric fought back fiercely. They pulled ships from across their empire, gathering a massive fleet to crush the rebellion. But each defeat taught the Alliance something new about their enemy. while the Doric never seemed to learn. "They keep using the same tactics," Sun Mai observed. "They expect us to follow rules of war, to be predictable." "Then let's be unpredictable," Dr. Kim suggested. Their new strategy confused the Doric commanders. Where the aliens expected direct attacks, the Alliance targeted supply lines. When the Doric protected their centers, the Alliance freed outlying worlds. 6 months into the campaign, Dr. Kim made an important discovery. He found references to the Doric homeworld in captured data, a planet called Zora, deep in their territory. "Their leadership is there," he told the Alliance Council. "Their supreme commander never leaves the homeworld. If we capture Zora, we could end this war." The attack on Zora would be their most dangerous mission yet. The planet was surrounded by thousands of ships and defensive platforms. But the Alliance had grown strong, now including 7 different species united against Doric rule. Admiral Kang led the fleet herself. The battle began at dawn, Earth time. The Doric fought desperately to protect their home, but they couldn't match the creativity and cooperation of the Alliance. "We've broken through their outer defenses," Sun Mai reported after 3 days of fighting. "The path to Zora is open." As the vengeance approached the planet, a message came from the surface. The Supreme Commander of the Doric wanted to discuss surrender terms. Dr. Kim joined Admiral Kang for the meeting on a neutral ship in orbit around Zora. The Supreme Commander was taller than other Doric, with 6 arms instead of 4 and skin that was almost white. "How?" he demanded when they sat down. "How could one primitive world lead an alliance that defeated an empire spanning galaxies?" Sun Mi's answer was simple. "Because we never learn to give up. And because we understand something you don't. True strength comes from working together, not conquering others." The peace terms were firm but fair. The Doric would release all enslaved peoples and withdraw from conquered worlds. They could keep their homeworld and nearby systems, but would never again build weapons of war. In the months that followed, the galaxy changed dramatically. Former Doric territories became independent again. Trade routes opened between worlds that had never communicated before. Dr. Kim worked tirelessly to establish a galactic council where all species would have equal voice. 1 year after the surrender, the new council headquarters opened on a neutral planet called Harmony. Representatives from 32 species attended, including even the Doric. As Dr. Kim prepared to give the opening speech as Earth's first ambassador, Admiral Kang joined him on the balcony overlooking the Great Hall. "Did you ever imagine this?" she asked, gesturing at the amazing variety of beings below. "When you were analyzing those first alien signals?" Dr. Kim smiled. "Never. I thought we were fighting for survival. I never dreamed we were fighting for a new beginning." Together, they walked into the hall, representatives of a world that had faced extinction and instead found its place among the stars. Earth was no longer alone, and the galaxy was better for it.